Good morning, and an absolute pleasure to be here at the Agriculture Innovation Congress, and thank you very much to Dr. Bhatia for the invitation. My task today is to talk about some lived journeys on sustainability. Okay, so none of what I'm going to talk about is a future something which is going to be in the future. It's something that we've already done, and as Aries Agro Limited, one of India's largest and most respected specialty fertilizer manufacturers, the objective of today's conversation is to tell you that in the last 57 years we have lived sustainability. It has not been a slogan, it's not been a CSR campaign, it is something we do with our products, with our processes and our people. And in that journey, I think sustainability is what we breathe every single moment of our journey at Aries. What I'm going to share are some of the examples of how sustainability has been practiced. And more importantly, when we talk of sustainability, this is a business model which I believe can be replicated by not only agribusiness firms, but by any firm that chooses to be responsible. For us, therefore, sustainability begins, like I said, with our product itself. All the product ranges, and Aries today has 140 products. We sell to 11 million farmers across India. We also have 90,000 retail points where the products that I'm going to talk about have actually been accepted wholeheartedly by cultivators of almost 120 crops in India. Which means this is again not something that has remained in our laboratories. It has actually built farmer incomes, it's built productivity, and has actually helped contribute to the agriculture ecosystem in the country. So how do we begin with the product itself? Yeah, great. So that's who we are. Like I said, we are at 11 million farmers today. We have 140 brands. We make these brands at 10 factories across India. And when we say we are the largest and most respected, it is because of our scale. We today have 190,000 tons of manufacturing capacity of exactly the products that I'm talking about. And they're not only sold in India, but we are very happy to have been selling these products across 13 countries worldwide. This, therefore, is the outcome or the result of being sustainable. Now that I've told you where we've got by being sustainable, let me tell you how we did it. Our beginning, like I said, was with our product itself. Every single product out of 140 products lives on a residue-free principle. Anything we put onto our shelves must not leave any residue at the time it is consumed by you and I. We've also found a great sweet space between the utopian organic cultivation and the bad chemical fertilizers. Both of which, in the Indian context, are wrong. I can't go out and tell farmers be organic tomorrow. At the same time, I can't keep putting bad chemicals on the field. So how did we find a sweet spot? This sweet spot was the first element of our product, which was chelation. We took every mineral that a farmer required and we converted them into inert compounds. The moment I made them inert compounds, they did not react with air, soil and water. With lack of reaction, there was no harm. Converting chelation into every element of the products that were put into the field was the first and most important bedrock of everything that Aries did in the market. Today, chelation constitutes 60% of our business. 60% of the entire business focuses on how we can give farmers inert minerals which provide nutrition to agriculture without harming the environment. And our product, which has been in the market for the since 1975, remains the one and only BIS marked, ISI marked chelated product in India. And this shows that not only have we stayed ahead of the curve, we have remained ahead of the curve over decades. Beyond chelation, most recently, the last 3 or 4 years, China weaponized fertilizers. They basically said, we will not give fertilizers to India unless India gives us something in return. In the process, supply chains got messed up, prices went up, availability was very, very difficult for farming communities. We then innovated. We said we want to say no to China. 5 years ago, 58% of our NPK fertilizers used to come in from overseas. Today, I'm very proud to say we are down to 18%. From 58 to 18%. How did we reduce 40% of our import dependence? By making proudly in India. We formulated every single formulation that was otherwise imported from China in a China plus plus format, which means not only did we replicate what was coming in from overseas, we actually improved it. Our high density NPKs no longer function at the level of dosage that is traditionally used by farmers, typically 1 kilo an acre for a foliar spray. It's down to 200 grams. At 200 grams, we provide equal if not better nutrient supplementation with water soluble high density NPKs completely made in India. Again, this is one of our very, very big contributions and has actually saved our own company and our farmers from the impact of the supply chain mess ups that happened in the last couple of years. High density NPKs, Aries HD range remains one of the fastest growing ranges in our product range. Again, very sustainable. We put less product, we put sustainable products, and these remain residue free at the time of usage. We also customize a lot of fertilizers, which is a next level of sustainability. Do not give a one-size-fits-all product. It does not work in agriculture. How do we ensure a farmer uses only what he or she requires? That is a customization which we have done using a blend of NPK, secondary and micro, and we are the only companies licensed in India for these particular grades. They are licensed only exclusively for us under the Gazette of India, and we have the entire crop-specific formulations, our major salt range, which again reduces what is required specific to the needs of specific crops. And today we do it for all major crops of the country. There are different formulations which provide a farmer an NPK, secondary and micro combination which reduces the unnecessary products he would otherwise put onto the field. Again, use less, use exactly what you require, and do it in a very scientific manner. We've also ensured that many of our products are biologically released into the ecosystem. So yes, we do put chemically inert products onto the soil, but ultimately they need to get activated. Many of our sulfur-based products, which are secondary nutrients, we have ensured that the formulation are biologically activated and not chemically activated. Which means the soil microbes and water will act slowly onto the minerals, convert them into a usable form, and that process takes time. It is slow release and also very, very sustainable. With a biological release, we eliminate harmful chemical reactions in the soil, delivering nutrient in a precise and sustainable manner. And the entire range of our biologically controlled release fertilizers in the pastille form have also been in the market for almost a decade now. Beyond the product, our processes. Recommendations for our farmers does not happen ad hoc. We have soil scanners and we have been scanning thousands of soil samples every year. In fact, today I have a database, my marketing team has a database of almost 15 years of soil specific nutrient recommendations. All of this put into AI/ML models and using GPS based tracking facilities, we are in a position to, on a pin code level, tell a farmer what is the requirement of nutrients in those respective areas. We can do on-field soil testing, but if a farmer does not have an on-field test report, he can access pin code level nutrient information, which helps him decide what nutrition is required for his crops, rather than, again, use a one-size-fits-all solution. Once again, this has been happening for the last 15 years. Like I mentioned in the earlier part of my presentation, none of this is futuristic. It's all already in the market, already something that our 11 million farmers have been using. Once we have developed our precise nutrient recommendations, many of our products also come in water-soluble packaging, which means not only is my product sustainable, my packaging also leaves absolutely no residues in the field, which means water-soluble packaging entails throwing the polymer-based pack onto the spray tank. It self-dissolves, releases the product into the spray solution, leaving no plastic or aluminum foil in the field. More importantly, any other product which is not compatible with water-soluble packaging is in 100% recyclable form. We are very proud that not a single pouch that comes out of the Aries factories is not recyclable. Precise nutrient delivery, I think the previous speaker talked about drones. I think we have been the first DGCA certified drones for agricultural nutrition sprays in the country. We run our own drone academy. And in the process of the last 4 or 5 years, we have actually developed crop-specific drone recommendations, which are very different from the traditional soil and foliar application recommendations. Which means, if I today tell a farmer to hire our drone, and we provide drone usage as a service today to a farmer, spray as a service is the way we actually put drones in the market. This spray as a service has Uberized the drone, which means the farmer can tell us, come on this day, come at this particular time and spray 5 acres, and we charge him just for 5 acres of spray. The entire back end is handled by our team, and the nutrient recommendations have been developed over the years. Once again, please understand that these are recommendations that we today have as our own IP, and it is something that is very difficult to replicate by anyone else who comes into the market. But more importantly, the precise...
Grass in agro.
Drone
as a service in agro.
Yeah. Drone as a service is what we have developed, and this last 5 years it has been perfected. Because there was a shortage of drone pilots, we now run our own drone academy, which provides DGCA certified pilots to ensure that there is no one who does not have a pilot license. More importantly, every pilot license in drone is a micro entrepreneurship opportunity for our own dealers and distributors, because it makes them a good additional source of income.
This will develop as the data center industry.
It already is for us, and I'm sure it will develop even further. More importantly, when we talk of sustainability, I think one of the biggest things in our people is hiring local people. I mean, I have 1,200 people in the field, and I'm very proud that almost 99% of them come from small towns and cities. By actually locally hiring, we actually reduce a tremendous amount of impact of getting salespeople moving across the whole country. More importantly, the trust and credibility that the local hires have and the livelihoods it creates in those ecosystems are beyond any other intervention that we can actually provide. It is, because ultimately farming families are also involved in these recommendations. More importantly, local hiring actually kept us alive in COVID. It is, absolutely, because ultimately the trust is only generated if someone comes from a farming family or is some from that neighborhood. Taking them and upskilling them is what we do. Upskilling them is our job. Then providing trust and credible resources in the markets is actually what is delivered by the entire field, and today we have 1,200 people doing this in 26 states of India. Lastly, we're talking about process and people. Beyond process, we have 10 factories in India. Each one of them is zero effluent, and I'm very proud that we've actually invested heavily on ensuring that our farmers discharge no harmful effluents. They all run on alternate fuels. There is not a single factory, including our Mumbai facility, that runs on fossil fuels. It's entirely run on solar or on solid fuel. There is absolutely zero impact in terms of fossil fuels in all our 10 manufacturing facilities in India. More importantly, we also have a set of 13 or 19 organically certified biostimulants which are now in the market, a growing area. Again, we do not launch a product unless it's organically certified, and not only certified in India, but we also have global certifications for these in order to ensure that our product remains sustainable. Residue-free crop nutrition is the endpoint of all the 140 products I talked about. Every single, if it's in the Aries range, you can be assured that there is no residue when you and I eat the crops that generate because of the products that are being used onto those fields. Zero residue agriculture, according to me, and I'm also on the Prime Minister's panel on doubling farm income, we got in, putting in the fact that residue-free farm income must become, residue-free farm production with balanced nutrition must be a national imperative. In fact, if you see the Niti Aayog document, this is actually included as a specific action item for agriculture. And more importantly, as a company, I think the biggest thing that we do when we talk of sustainability is that we are a nutrition company. We do not sell poisons. We do not sell products. We sell food for plants. Unfortunately, a lot of people talk about pesticides and crop protection, which is basically reactive rather than preventive, where we actually go out and prevent any harmful diseases by feeding those crops appropriately, and that is where we come in. For the last 57 years, we've sold food, we have not sold medicine. And in any country, food is always cheaper than medicine. So I think by focusing on food, I think the biggest thing that we can do is by ensuring that we reduce cost of cultivation, because they are focusing on feeding the crop in a balanced manner with all the 16 elements required for nutrition, rather than just focus on the reactive pesticide use, which only solves the problem, it doesn't prevent one. So I think that is where residue-free crop nutrition has been something that we've practiced, we've lived every single day over the last 57 years. Putting all of this together, when we talk of sustainability, this is really the cycle of sustainability that Aries has lived every single day. When we talk about it, it starts from precision nutrient testing, moving on to the chelated inert crop nutrition, moving on to high density NPKs, moving on to customized crop formulations, biological release pastilles, zero effluent manufacturing, local hiring and talent, residue-free nutrition, 100% recyclable packaging, and going back to create a cycle which is truly sustainable. More importantly, proudly, we have made in India since 1969. Way before Make in India became a slogan, we lived it. We live these values, and it's something that has actually been something that we do every day. So when sustainability comes in as a CSR campaign, we say, no, that's not a CSR campaign, that is our business model. And to ensure that in agriculture we can actually remain value-based towards this has made what our business is today, and I'm proud that after 57 years, we are one of the fastest growing agribusiness companies in India, building products and services that we are truly proud of. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, Dr. Rahul, we've got the Topmost Agriculture Leaders of India award as well. So if you can kindly step up. Dr. Rahul receives the Topmost Agriculture Leaders of India. Ladies and gentlemen, please give him a round of applause. Chairman and Managing Director of Aries Agro Limited.